Have you ever noticed how life seems to constantly test us? You plan something, work hard to make it happen, but then, out of nowhere, obstacles pop up. And then you find yourself asking, is it really worth it? That constant struggle can wear you down, leave you feeling tired, and maybe even make you consider giving up. But here's the key point. What separates those who achieve success from those who quit isn't luck or talent, it's the mindset. True victory comes from becoming unbeatable in the face of challenges. In this journey, you'll discover the power of becoming unstoppable, pushing forward even when everything around you is trying to hold you back. Are you trying to move forward, but your mind keeps holding you back? Is the fear of the unknown, of things you can't control, paralyzing you? If you were to honestly face your greatest fears, most of them wouldn't be based on real facts. They're in your mind, in the stories you tell yourself. And that's where the game begins. You need to grasp something crucial. Your mind is both your greatest strength and your greatest weakness. It all depends on how you train it, how you choose to look at obstacles and the internal battles you face. It's time to stop playing the victim, to stop hiding behind excuses. It's time to face the raw truth. Fear is just a reflection of your mental preparation. If you don't prepare for the unknown, it's gonna swallow you whole. Simple as that. Mental preparation doesn't happen overnight. Reading a book or watching a motivational video won't magically change everything the next day. You have to face your fears head on, day in and day out. How? By putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. If you never put yourself in tough spots, you'll never understand how your mind reacts under pressure. What will happen is you'll become a hostage to your own limitations. What you don't get is that your mind is full of beliefs that aren't yours, limitations you've picked up over the years from listening to others, from absorbing everything people told you. And guess what? You'll never know what you're truly capable of until you force yourself to prove it. No matter how tough things get or how impossible it may seem, if you train your mind to be unbreakable, you will be unbreakable. This is your moment. Fear will keep trying to control you, but you've got the power to change everything. And when you do, you'll see that the real obstacle isn't out there, it's inside you. It's the way you face the unknown. Want to know the truth? Pain isn't going anywhere, no matter how much you try to run from it. It's always lurking, waiting to challenge you. What do you do with it? Do you accept pain as a constant companion, or do you use it as a tool for transformation? Most people see themselves as victims of pain, but you need to stop fooling yourself. Pain can be your ally, your fuel, if you know how to use it. Think of something that really hurt you. Maybe it's the loss of something or someone. Something that made you feel like you were shattered into 1,000 pieces. Pain is unavoidable. But what you don't realize is that it gives you the chance to rebuild, to grow in a way that wouldn't be possible without it. It's not about avoiding the pain, it's about using it to make you stronger. You'll never know what you're capable of if you don't let yourself feel the pain fully. If you live in fear of suffering, you'll always be hiding from life. Every time you choose to run from discomfort, you're missing the chance to learn from it. Pain is a lesson in disguise, and if you ignore it, you're ignoring the growth that comes with it. The key here is perspective. You can either see pain as a burden or you can see it as an opportunity. Pain will test your resilience, pull you to your limit. And it's at that limit that you discover who you truly are. Pain will make you sweat, cry, question everything you thought you knew about yourself. And that's where the magic happens. You evolve, become stronger, sharper, more prepared for what's to come. So, next time pain knocks at your door, instead of hiding, throw yourself into it. Use it as a trampoline, as a tool to push you farther than you ever imagined. Because it's in that confrontation with pain that you'll find real strength, the kind no one can take away from you. You want to know what separates winners from losers? It's not skill, it's not luck, and definitely not the lack of difficulties. What separates the achievers from the quitters is the warrior mentality. Do you think a warrior only fights when he's comfortable? That he only advances when the path is clear? No, my friend, a real warrior stands up, adjusts himself, and faces obstacles head-on, no matter the conditions. Resilience isn't something you either have or don't have. It's a skill, something you build with every battle, with every blow you take and survive. You're gonna fall, you're gonna fail, you're gonna get knocked down plenty of times. That's a given. But what will define your path isn't how much you fall, it's how much you get back up. The real question is, will you get up? Being resilient means having the courage to rise even when your body and mind beg you to stop. It means marching on even when the pain feels unbearable. Because it's in those moments that you really test your true strength. It's not when everything's going great. It's when everything seems lost, when you don't see a way out. The warrior mentality isn't defined by perfection, it's defined by persistence. War isn't won without sweat and blood. The toughest battles aren't won just with tactics or physical strength, but with a mental force that can't be broken. A warrior knows the fight is constant. And even when he feels like he's on the verge of collapse, he stays focused. He understands that scars are symbols, not of weakness, but of overcoming. You can choose, right now, to be that warrior. To choose not to be defeated. To rise when everything around you is telling you to quit. Because it's right there, at that breaking point, where your real strength starts to form. And the next time you feel ready to collapse, it'll be the last time that ever happens. Are you ready to move forward? The battlefield is waiting for you. Did you know that failure is your greatest ally? No, I'm not crazy, and I'm not saying this to comfort you. Failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. Are you waiting for a sign? A blessing? Because the sign has already arrived. Failure is here, and it's the key you've been searching for. When you fail, you get a unique opportunity. You have the power to learn, grow, and become something greater than you were before. If you're not failing, you're just staying in the same place, avoiding the risk of transformation. Are you afraid of failure? Most people are, but the truth is, those who avoid failure are just delaying true victory. Those who fail learn more than anyone who experiences instant success. Failure is the hardest school, but it's also the most effective. Every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is a chance to reinvent yourself. I know what you're thinking, but I don't want to fail. I can't afford it. And I get it. That feeling of fear can paralyze you. But did you know that fear is what keeps most people from reaching their true potential? The fear of making mistakes, of falling down. The problem is, those who are afraid of failing will never see true success. The real warrior isn't afraid of failure. He embraces it, learns from it, and uses it as fuel to move forward. When you fail, you face reality. That moment when everything falls apart is the moment when you truly get to know yourself. You can hide, or you can stand up, look failure in the eyes, and say, "Now, I'm gonna show you what I'm made of." Stop seeing failure as a monster. It's your mentor, your guide, your source of power. Failure doesn't define who you are, but how you rise again and what you do with the lesson learned. Failure isn't the end of the journey. It's just the beginning of the next chapter. Have you ever stopped to think about how limited you feel? No, I'm not just talking about physical or financial limitations, but about the invisible barriers you put up for yourself. Did you know that most of the limits you encounter in life don't come from the outside world, but from your own mind? That's right, they're limiting beliefs, fears, and excuses you created yourself that make you believe you can't go any further. What if I told you that you're one step away from breaking those barriers? What's holding you back right now? Fear of failure? Fear of making mistakes? Those limits you see on the horizon, they're not real. They're your creation, a mental game you've learned to play, and for a long time, you've accepted the rules without questioning them. But you can change that. You can break any barrier, any limit. True transformation happens when you challenge your limits. Every time you push beyond what you think is possible, you grow. You learn. And by doing that, you become stronger, more resilient. Every time you look at your own limit and say, "I won't accept this, I'm going further," you're moving closer to true freedom. Understand this, you won't get great results without shaking up your comfort zone. If you keep limiting yourself to what's comfortable, you'll never see true greatness. When was the last time you did something that truly challenged you? Something that made you sweat, struggle, and feel like you were at the edge of your potential? That's breaking barriers. The secret is not letting these emotional or psychological limits control your life. Don't wait for the world to push you out of your comfort zone. Do it for yourself. Discomfort is where the magic happens. When you challenge yourself to break those limits, you'll finally realize that the true obstacle isn't out there, it's inside you. Get ready to redefine your beliefs. Get ready to look at your limits and say, "No more." Now, imagine your life if you were truly unstoppable. I'm not talking about being invincible or never facing difficulties, but about being someone who refuses to be defeated, someone who keeps moving forward no matter how many times they fall. That's what it means to be unstoppable. It's not about perfection, it's about perseverance. The difference between those who achieve success and those who quit halfway isn't in who has more talent or luck, but in the attitude. The secret lies in how you handle obstacles. The people who are relentless don't give up. They understand that failure is part of the journey, but it's not the end of the road. When you adopt this mindset, something inside you changes. Fear, doubts, failures, none of that has power over you anymore. What holds power is your will to keep going, to never stop. Being unstoppable doesn't mean you won't fail. We all fail. We all fall. The key point is what you do afterward. You get back up and try again, stronger, more determined, wiser. The power lies in refusing to accept that a failure defines who you are. Instead, you use each failure as fuel to keep moving forward, stronger and more prepared for the next challenge. What if you started treating your obstacles not as an end, but as an opportunity to grow? What if you understood that every struggle, every battle is a chance to strengthen yourself? Imagine what would happen if you never gave up. Imagine what you could achieve. Being unstoppable is about that. It's not about being perfect. It's about getting up every single time. It's about having the courage to keep going even when the whole world seems to say you can't make it. Because you will. If you have the right mindset, if you never let yourself be knocked down, nothing will stop you. Now, the question is, are you ready to be unstoppable? Are you ready to look at difficulties and say, you can try to stop me, but you won't succeed? The greatest achievement you can have in life isn't avoiding failure, but how you handle it. Being unstoppable isn't about never falling. It's about always getting back up. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity disguised as growth. And believe me, you have everything you need to be that person who never gives up, who never lets themselves be defeated. Now you know, the true power is in persistence, in moving forward despite everything. The challenge is simple. Will you choose to be defeated by circumstances, or will you choose to be unstoppable no matter what happens?